Okay. Hello. How's it going? Uh, I'm still waking up from a nap, so give me a minute here. Nice. Same. Same. Trying to figure out where to start. That's real. That's real, though. My sleep schedule is more stable than it usually is right now, but I definitely get that. Although I was up until like 3 a.m. the other night, so I don't know. Uh, let's see. Ooh, okay. In exciting news. Hold on. This is completely. That's real, though. I get that. We're finally getting Fable news. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be fun. I don't know. I'm nervous, but we'll see. Hmm. All right. I'm nervous that it won't be good. I want it to be a good game, and I hope that it will be. Want to see the franchise revived, and I would love to see a good Fable game again, but we'll see. I try not to be pessimistic. All right. First of all, so oh god, I keep having to clear my throat. Um, it'll be fine. No, it will be probably fine. I'm just being silly about it, but we could just jump into the
Hi. In the last episode of Deep Dive,
Rashad Richey stuff. Um, obviously, Brittany Venti versus Pearly Things was hilarious. I don't know who Brittany Venti is. Who's Brittany Venti? That's a new name for me. It sounds a little familiar. Yeah, I saw that people were. I saw someone say that he deleted the video that he said he was gonna sue Cam. Oh God. All right, I know nothing about her. I know nothing about her, but I looked her up and her Instagram bio says, I am a biologically black woman. The black community revoked my card. That's great. Awesome. I love it already. Oh my god. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I that's a new name to me. I haven't yeah, I mean that's a funny bio. It's just a funny bio. I'm sure she's had some it's very it's a little Candace Owensy, you know? But we'll see. Uh, you know, interesting. Um oh, they identified the guy from the shooting yesterday. His name is Jonathan Ross. Just to let everyone know about that because his name should be plastered everywhere in my opinion. Fuck this guy. Ugh. Candace at least tries to be serious. She's like a mean girl shit poster. Okay. Yeah, Candace. I could talk about Candace for quite some time. I haven't been keeping up with her. I haven't since she came back from break though. I need to uh I need to get back into it. But I don't know. Has she been pulling the numbers like she used to? Is she still getting as much attention? God, can I go one day without looking at right wing figures in their analytics? Ugh. Mm, eh, I'd say there's a little bit of a fall off, but not too much. She's still going strong. She blew up after Charlie got Kirk. She was doing pretty well before Charlie got kirked, to be honest with you. But she definitely has been riding this post Charlie Kirk assassination wave that has definitely boosted her career quite a bit. But Charlie, yeah, Charlie. Oh man, it's that was God. It that I still a part of me still hasn't that hasn't set in. It's like my part. Sometimes I'm just doing shit and I'm like, oh yeah, Charlie Kirk is dead. Like that just it's kind of still crazy to me. Um, Still kind of a little crazy to me. People saying that posting this guy's picture and his name is doxing is so funny. Like that's not doxing. Words have meaning. Yeah, yeah. She's definitely she just definitely got a boost after Charlie Kirk's assassination for sure. But there has been like a little bit of a decline, I'd say, in her views. I do think the excitement is starting to wear off a little bit and people are starting to tune out. But she'll probably find something to reel them back in. I don't know. It's Candace. She'll figure something out. I assumed that she was gonna really tie it back into the Brigitte Macron stuff after her meeting with Erica to kind of pivot away from that, but she is still going after Turning Point USA quite hard. No, for real. It is like everything is doxing now. I don't know, man. Like, let's be real. Like, let's just be real. It's not doxing. It's not doxing to post his photo and his name. Uh, all right. So, I'm a little late to this whole Rashad Richey stuff, and a lot has happened, but I am gonna kind of dive into this. I have a little bit of a baseline understanding of this. I did watch this video on my own time already, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I kind of had it playing in the background, and I was trying to decide if I was gonna talk about this more, but since it's kept going, and since I think this is going to continue into a bigger thing with TYT, I do want to keep going. I do want to take a look at this, but yeah. Uh, Turning Point will say something, and the beef will blow up again. Maybe, maybe. I think. Um. Oh, is there an update from today? We can take a look. Yeah. But I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. We'll take a look. Um because like again, I do think that I'm a person who's like if you're gonna if you're gonna be a public figure and you know your output kind of relies on maintaining a level of trust, um do just ignore it. I don't even think it's like a thing that he should ignore necessarily, but he should just own up to it. Like, you fucked up, say you fucked up and move on. Because, like, his output does kind of rely on having a certain level of trust with the audience, and if he breaks that, then it's not really worth much. like there's not really much that you're getting out of the experience if you can't really put in like a level of trust to what he is saying. So I do think that he should just own up to it and be like, yeah, I fucked up. I did it and that's my bad, you know? Like me culpa and move on with your life. Like I think that's the easiest way to deal with this, but I don't know if it's a pride thing or what. Sorry, 1 second. Anyway, let's just get into it. If we've put it off long enough.
I presented the top 5 red flags that lets you know someone is a FUBU scammer, a term I coined 2 years ago to describe black people using their culture and identity to run manipulative schemes on people who look like them. Sometimes what they're doing is illegal, sometimes it isn't. And
Yeah, that was the big one for me that I heard. that was the one that really stood out to me was that he had a machine that would cure Alzheimer's. Like that's the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't know why you felt like you needed to lie about that because that's such an obvious thing that if that were true, that would be a pretty big thing, I imagine. like um his law degree is real and he's also an astrophysicist. Like, dude, pick a lane. Yeah, I just just he has real degrees, he has real merits to his name. Um so I don't understand why he even felt the need to lie about this. Like, as someone who has like no real merits to her name, I don't feel the need to lie about my credentials, you know? Um like what you see is what you get, you know? It's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand the desire to lie. Some Elon Musk shit. Yeah, or no, exactly. It's like I don't understand like why it's like why you would lie about that. That seems like something that's pretty easy to prove, buddy.
video and in the deep dives episode I made about him, I called out former preacher and MLM consultant Dr. Myron Golden, who currently sells business coaching to aspiring business owners and grifters for getting his advanced degree from a church. Believe it or not, clout goblins can get a whole lot worse than him. This time, I'm talking about Rashad Richey, JD, PhD, EDD, MBA, and LLM. Progressive YouTube commentator, working with the Young Turks via his show Indisputable, president and chief editor at large for Rolling Out, one of the most prominent culture and media brands out of Atlanta, director and professor of business at Morris Brown College, department chair at Beulah Heights University, senior advisor at the Carter Center.
No, like that's true too. I'd say that YouTube is a fairly um like it's a fairly, equal opportunity space. Like what all you really need is a way to make videos and you can grow your channel. So you don't necessarily need to have like all these credentials to even like back up what you're saying. It's just it's very weird. It's very weird. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand the desire or the like what is the purpose of lying about all of this when you can just be like, no, no, I have these degrees and that's it, because that's good enough. I mean, you don't you don't need to lie about it. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird one because I really don't understand why he felt the need to lie about it and why he feels the need to double down once he's been caught. Other than, I guess, possible financial interests if he is involved with like some of these diploma mills and maybe not wanting to get them sort of, exposed, but I don't know.
And professor of physics at Paris Graduate School, just to name a few. There was at least one fake school in that sentence. He was awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award by President Obama and claims that he invented a patented device that can cure Alzheimer's disease, beating an MIT research team to the punch. Some of y'all have already noticed some problems. And
Like it's like that one chick. Oh, what's her name? I can't say the last name. I don't. It's like you know who I'm talking about. Elizabeth's like Serenos or whatever. Is that her? Is that her name? The chick who's Elizabeth Swados. Elizabeth. No, Elizabeth Serenos, right? Elizabeth. Hold on. Fuck. Amanda Seyfried played her. um. Oh God. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I know who I'm trying. I know what I'm trying to think of. The one chick, the scammer chick, who lied about having like a machine to test the like blood, uh, like do like blood tests, and she ended up she's in prison now. Like, no, it's oh God, it's hold on, I'll find it. I hold on. Here we go. Elizabeth Holmes. Fuck, I like mixed like the name of the machine with like her. I just like made up a whole new person, but Elizabeth Holmes. Um, God, I just made up a whole new person. Who the fuck is Elizabeth Swarnos? I don't know who that is. That person does not exist. Oh my god. Here, Elizabeth Holmes. She designed a machine, or she said she designed a blood testing company that she's founded at like the age of 19, and then it was like a whole thing. But yeah, it was like a whole thing. Um okay. Okay, cool. I at least I didn't make up a person, I guess. So I'm like, what am I doing? Okay, but this is who I'm talking about. It's Elizabeth Holmes. Um but yeah, she like made a machine, and then she like scammed them for like years though. So I guess, because like I guess at least he's not doing that.
I haven't even gotten to the punchline yet. As of when I'm publishing this, considering he invents a new degree every couple years, Richey claims he's earned 5 doctorates and 5 master's degrees in 10 areas of study. I'm concerned. I could end the video there, but he's actually claimed more than that. More than one of his supposed degrees have been wiped off of his LinkedIn. This is where I have to bring up a couple other people whose work I reviewed alongside my own independent research to make this video. One is the fake PhD investigator, who published a couple articles on him last year via Substack. And the other is Johnny Walker Dread, a YouTuber with a whole playlist of videos walking through all of Richey's lies over the past few years.
So there's almost no one that has pissed me off more than this Dr. Rashad Richey.
Rashad knows who both of these guys are too, since
I like this guy. I don't know anything about him, but he's a dedicated hater. I respect that. Like he's got like 40-minute long videos about him. Did you see that? Hold on. Like he's got like 47-minute long videos about Rashid Richey. I don't know anything. A complete Rashid Richey collection. One of 117. Like I don't know anything else about this guy. He might be an awful person, but I respect him. I respect this level, man. Oh, dude. That's so funny.
So there's almost no one that has pissed me off more than this Dr. Rashad Richey.
Rashad knows who both of these guys are too, since he argued with them on Twitter at least once after getting called out for these fake degrees. To be clear, almost all of these degrees are fake, with at least 7 of them coming from diploma mills, and we're going to walk through each one. The convo around fake degrees is bigger than him, but the sheer degree of deception here is shocking, and it'll help me frame the discussion with specific examples. Damn near everything you need to know about faking degrees is contained within this.
Kyle, I guess. That guy's over there like, finally, they're gonna get him. It's like they're finally listening to me. Oh man. That's good. No, that's good.
One man. I promise you. This story has fake schools, blatant lies, suspect inventions, and empty certifications. Before we break that down, though, I promised y'all we'd take a look at how I tracked my credit score in the last episode. Allow me to make good on that promise with longtime channel sponsor, Aura. This will take less than a minute. I appreciate them for supporting these investigations. First off, they make sure I know how to make the most of the site with this checklist. I don't need a chaperone because I'm grown. I ain't got kids, and I already got the app. James, right now. Let's get it. Let's slow down for a second. I can't assume y'all know who the hell I'm talking about. The internet's a big place. We have to establish why this expose even matters. Am I just roasting another YouTuber? Nah, not really. He's much more than that.
Sometimes I let them play. Sometimes I skip them though. It really just depends what mood I'm in. I'm inconsistent, I fear.
The wider black media landscape. I couldn't fit all his accolades in the intro, y'all bear with me. According to his talent listing on the Young Turks website, he's been running the political news circuit for decades. MSNBC, Fox News, BBC, something called the Black News Channel. He's the president of Rolling Out, which is the largest black owned publication in America, according to them, with 2.8 million monthly readers. He was voted Best Talk Radio Personality in Atlanta by the Atlanta Journal Constitution's readers. I used to work there. For the morning radio show he named after himself, he was nominated for an Emmy, Southeast Regional Emmy. There's thousands of these collecting dust on people's shelves. I've seen them after covering a small town's legacy of racial discrimination for CBS News. And he's a political commentator for V103, aka the People Station. The bio goes on to say that since he grew up in the streets of Atlanta, the city I also live in, he volunteers his time to help the youth via the Rashad Richey Foundation, Incorporated. He was the political director and chief strategist for the Democratic Party of Georgia, and later became their first black lobbyist, successfully lobbying for increased educational funding, criminal justice reform, and against human sex trafficking loopholes. He's reportedly donated hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships, interviewed everybody from Kamala Harris to Clifford Harris. Look, he has a reel. Watch a piece of that, and I'll catch y'all up.
Welcome to Dr. Rashad Richey, Indisputable. This is going to be quite interesting. I don't know if you can handle this much truth on any day of the week, the unrest inside of the black.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes like a while to finally get get people's attention, I guess, but or it just takes like the right person covering it eventually. It sucks, but like that is kind of just how things work. It doesn't always get the attention it deserves, even if it is like the first person to call them out. But it seems like, I mean, it's definitely getting attention now. I think that this, especially depending on if he does do a video about TYT and how that goes, I could definitely see this being like a bigger thing and finally sort of getting a lot of attention on all of this stuff. Because I don't know, it just seems like TYT has a lot of skeletons in their closet, and everyone at TYT has baggage, and even when it comes to someone like Rashad Richey, who seems to have some pretty mild baggage that he could easily overcome, he's kind of he's kind of showing his ass by being as aggressive as he has been. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting response. I think that, yeah, Richie, he did say that, and then I think that Richie has deleted the video where he said he was gonna sue. So I don't know if he's still planning to sue or not. He might be, but I think he deleted the video where he said he was gonna sue. But that could have been either, at the suggestion of like a lawyer, or um because of some other reason. So I don't know. But I think if he's suing for defamation, that's gonna be a hard get, obviously. Um I am gonna run upstairs real quick and put my pizza in the oven because I should eat dinner. I did not do that yet. So hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. 15 minutes and then I have to go get my pizza, but pineapple belongs on pizza. You know, controversial opinion. I'll give you that one. But I don't know. I'm not a huge pineapple fan, so I can't really debate the subject because I'm already biased against it. I'm not an impartial participant in this. Pineapple is already not my favorite fruit. I have a timer to go get it. 14 minutes. All right, let's get into this a little bit here.
Community and communities that support them. It's because these cops are not held accountable.
It sounds like for everybody's need who wants to crucify the cops without looking at it.
No, crucify bad cops, brother.
Of
Bad
course.
cops.
We don't need the government to step into our lives mandating that we should be wearing a mask.
You think you putting on a mask tray is government intrusion, but you don't think the government telling a woman what she can or cannot do with her body isn't government. I can read it to you, brother.
You seem very well prepared. Certainly more.
Of course, why would I not be well prepared? They don't stop, I don't stop. Racism won't stop, I won't stop.
This is good, Rashad.
I told y'all, this one's gonna hurt. Yeah, from the outside looking in, he's a black progressive leftist, like me. By all accounts,
I can understand that. I support it in theory. Like I support the concept of pineapple on pizza. I'm not necessarily against it on like you know on like a ideological basis or anything. I'm not like a pineapple absolutely does not belong on pizza. I'm not like a pizza realist or anything, but I do I do understand. I do support the concept. I just personally am not a pineapple person. Maybe another fruit belongs on pizza for me. I don't know. I'm not a huge I like fruit, but I'm not a huge fan of mixing foods. um I do. I support it from afar. I I I I support it from way over here, you know. Yeah.
his media presence has been crucial in the fight against systemic racism and discrimination, despite the clickbait thumbnails and efforts to profit off of drama. I saw him debating some of the worst conservatives in the world, like Rob Smith, in that clip, as well as many white far right conservatives. I think talk show debates are pointless clout chasing because nobody cites their sources. But I digress. He's fighting the good fight, right? That should exempt him from being called out for blatant lies, right? Hell no. And the rest of this video exists to do just that. This one's for everybody claiming I only attack a certain type of person. We gotta call out our own.
Tomatoes are fruits. That's true. I guess I mean a more traditional fruit. Like if I were to like my favorite fruit is probably an apple or maybe like a mango or something. So, I would say I don't know how I feel about one of those on pizza though. Like maybe it's good. I'm just not sure I'm adventurous enough to try it myself.
First, we need to establish what he's claimed to have and confirm it's him behind those claims in the first place. I'm using 3 sources for this: his official LinkedIn page, his official bio on the Young Turks talent site, and his bio on the Fairness Firm site. That last one was a firm he created, which has a much longer name on paper: International Law Group of Human and Civil Rights Attorneys, PC. I said was because the firm was administratively dissolved this September, according to the Georgia State Department. That's what happens when you don't pay your bills. He's listed as a CFO on this page. The bio calls him a managing partner, and he doesn't even practice law since he hasn't passed the bar at time of publication. That JD isn't real either, but we'll get to that. They probably closed up shop due to not having enough clients, to be honest. Out of the 10 to 12 advanced degrees Rashad Richey's claimed to hold over the last 25 years or so, almost all of them are from fake schools, diploma mills, or non existent degree programs.
Yeah, yeah. See, I don't know. I give it a shot, but I don't know. I don't know how it would take a certain type of mood. I'd have to be in a very specific mood, and I'd have to be willing to take a risk that day. But I'd probably give it a shot sometime. But I don't understand lying about this many degrees. It just seems excessive at a certain point too. Like at some point, it becomes, how could you even get that much? Like, how have you had that much time with everything you've been doing? You have a whole life that you've been living. What do you mean, sir?
At real schools. Let's run down the list on the Fairness Firm's site and cross reference it with his OG LinkedIn, the one Johnny Walker Dredd covered last year. Anything you've ever put in the education section is fair game. You don't get to erase lies and get away with it. Let's start with this Juris Doctor degree in law. It's the degree that qualifies you to put JD after your name. Renaissance University is a real institution based in Ogbaka, Nigeria. I hope that's the one he's talking about because the other one is in Indore, India. And that one doesn't offer a JD, only Master of Laws degrees or LLMs. The one in Nigeria has a Faculty of Law graduate program, although the first sentence on their graduate program's page says, quote, Renaissance University, RNU, is an institution established with excellence as goal, end quote. English may not be their first language, but it's not looking great. Rashad, you didn't enroll in some degree completion program with transferred credits, as you claimed in this typo-filled article you wrote on your own radio show's site. It wasn't online either, because this is a college proudly bragging about having 300 plus computers. Not a shot at them, it's a shot at you for telling that lie in the first place. You don't have a real JD, at least not from them. This Master of Laws degree he claims to have from Université de la Renaissance d'Haïti. He says on LinkedIn, while explaining how this degree isn't a scam, a perfectly normal thing everyone does on LinkedIn, while listing it under the Birmingham School of Law, a college he transferred from or flunked out of, that he's eligible for the bar under the FCE eligibility rules of the American Bar Association. I don't know what those are, so I went to the ABA's page where they listed every school they've approved. And this joint ain't on any of these lists. You didn't go to school in Haiti, and you don't have a real Master of Laws degree. In that same self-published article I just mentioned, he also says he accepted a position as Director of Global Legal Operations at the International Law Group of Human and Civil Rights Attorneys, blah, 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 also known as the Fairness.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. It's just it's not looking great. It's a lot. Ooh. I just, again, I just don't get it. Like you really didn't need to lie about all this. And then it's like, yeah, and then it's like, yeah, typo. It's like, I don't, like, how much effort are we putting in? Ugh.
Firm. You created that position. Man created a law firm to grift off his audience and put real black attorneys who are also women on the front lines to do the real work. In my opinion, we got to double back on that Haitian.
Like that's the other like side of this. Like if you're grifting off your audience and that kind of thing, which wouldn't be surprising, especially for someone who is currently working at the Young Turks. I mean, I'm not saying everybody still working at the Young Turks is a grifter, but I do think that at this point, a lot of their motivation comes from getting that bag, you know? I think that they're a lot they're really focused on getting as much money as possible, and I don't know how deep that goes, but I imagine fairly deep. Maybe he's afraid he'll lose his job if the truth is verified. I don't really. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, which job? Like the job at the Young Turks or another one? Because I don't know that Jank cares that much. I don't know that Jank can afford to lose another long-standing figure like that. You know? Like if I'm Jank, I'm probably like I really don't really I don't care. I kind of need you here. Like things are a little rocky over there. I feel like he can't really afford to lose people too much right now. But I don't know. I don't know if TYT would care that much. Maybe. Maybe.
University, real quick. The fake PhD investigators' research uncovered that the unaccredited diploma mill, European American University, is the one that got him degrees.
That's possible. I mean, he could just be nervous and not necessarily thinking clearly about it because I wouldn't think Jank would care. But it is possible that he thinks he'll care, so who knows? I don't know. It also could just be an ego thing, you know? Wanting to keep up appearances, that is possible. Seems a little bit of a bad hill to die on, but that's also possible.
From both the Université de la Renaissance de Haiti and Universidad Empresarial, aka the Business School of Costa Rica. Again, both of these schools exist. That is not true. I'm sorry. I filmed that. I had that done already. I went back and was like, wait a minute, let me double check. One of those schools is real. The Université de la Renaissance de Haiti. I checked out their website and like me, I'm sure y'all can see the problem already. This school is extremely bare bones. They don't have the faculty or the ability to facilitate.
The donation link is killing me. Look at this. Look at look at this. Make a donation, and it's just like this, like JPEG. I think bad web design is one of my favorite things out there. Like just awful, atrocious web design, especially when we live in a time when the resources to access decent web design tools is like as easy as paying for like a Squarespace subscription, you know? Uh like all you have to do is go to Squarespace and get like however much it is monthly or whatever, and you'll have your decent looking website, and people just can't even do that. They can't even do that. So you just get this mega donation. Master's program business administration. Like this is great. No. This is great.
Any kind of international program, which is very clear from their website. They barely have a real logo. Their campus is super small, and I'm sure they're doing great work in Port-au-Prince, but they don't have any kind of capability to facilitate international programs like this. They're asking for donations on the site. So that's a real school that he did not get that degree from. Let's move to the Business University of Costa Rica, otherwise known as UNEM. The site doesn't even work. The About menu, the courses menu, events, none of it. None of it works. It's stock images and stock quotes about what the school is like, but no actual footage of the school, no actual pictures of the school, which is a dead giveaway every time. If a college has to rely on stock images, it hasn't been around very long, and or it's fake. Period. I'm sorry, I've been to Costa Rica. They don't look like this. Where are the Costa Ricans? Is this High School Musical? Check out the section about their staff or their professors. Right click on any of the photos. I'm gonna choose the one by Manuel Dorian. Search for Google Lens. Guess what pops up? Lions HR also uses this photo.
That's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. You couldn't even get like you couldn't even find some random guy on the street to just like take a picture of. Like put in a little effort. Are they even teaching American law in Haiti? I don't know. That's probably a good question. Um I mean I could probably look it up, but I don't know. Maybe. I would assume I would assume it depends on the country. Some countries have very like American centered sort of like views. So some countries might be more inclined to be more aligned with American standards, but I don't know. I gotta go get my pizza, so I will be right back. Alrighty.
Oh, there we go. There's a stock photo from Shutterstock of a mature, happy, smiling businessman. I'm doing a lot of work.
Again, that's crazy. You could have just you could have just gone out into the street and paid some guy like I don't even know, like $50 for his likeness, I'm sure. Like, you'll find a guy who wants to make a quick 50. Put in a little effort to your scam. Come on. Nothing pisses me off more than scammers who don't put in the effort, okay? If you're gonna scam somebody, at least put in a modicum of effort to do so. Try and make it a little bit believable.
Most of it's probably unnecessary. Y'all probably believe me by now. But for those who are fans of his, who are going to come in my comments complaining about me not doing my due diligence, shut the hell up. That's his doctorate in philosophy and master of science in applied physics and quantum mechanics. Gone. Fake degrees, not real. You need more proof? I went to the European American University site. The fake PhD investigators' research uncovered that the unaccredited diploma mill, European American University, is the one that got him degrees. Searched one of the images with Google Lens and found out it was a shot from Dame Julia Goodfellow's retirement from the University of Kent. That's a whole other college. Lies. Richey partnered with this fake-ass university to get several of his
You don't even need to give him that much information. Just say you're working on a project, you're willing to pay him a few bucks for him just to take a picture. You could find a lot of random guys who would agree to that for the right price, I'm sure. I'm sure, okay? uh, Men are reckless like that. Is he pretty famous in Atlanta? That makes sense. That's not surprising. I went to Atlanta a few years ago now, but that definitely makes sense. It's a cool city. Oh, radio show, sure. Yeah, I mean, the Black Mecca of America. My aunt lives there, but I have not been there in a few years now.
degrees. And that means there's one more hiding on this list that we can scratch off now. This Bachelor of Science in Applied Psychology from École Supérieure, Euro, can't pronounce that shit. Superior. École Supérieure. Euro-Américaine, aka European American University. You thought we wouldn't catch that since you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess it makes a little bit more sense that he's trying to, like, get this pushed away. He does. I do think it's probably an ego thing, probably a wanting to keep up appearances thing. He doesn't want this tainting his legacy. So I only drove through. Yeah, I mean it's a nice place. I stayed there for a couple days. My mom was when she was still working, she was there for like a work conference and I went with her. But I didn't do much. We went to the puppetry museum, which was pretty cool.
You switch languages. Bonus points. This university was founded and operated by John Kersey, a far-right conservative, with even more accolades to his name than Rashad has, somehow. This bio is in the Hall of Fame of overcompensation. I promise y'all are not ready for this. Kersey has a stack of overlapping doctorates, chancellor and professor positions at the same fake colleges Rashad Richey got his degrees from, lightbulb, archbishop positions, and he named himself royalty.
Interesting. Interesting. No, that's ooh. Okay.
in Europe. Published hella books himself via the European American.
Served as a bishop in the oh god, apostolic Episcopal Church. Apostolic Episcopal. That's a bit of a tongue twister. We were going to Chicago, so only stopped to eat. Okay, that checks out. I haven't been to I haven't been to Chicago in even longer. I haven't been to Chicago since high school. I want to go back. I want to go back to Chicago. Chicago's nice. It's not too far. Could take a train and be there in a few hours, but haven't had the chance.
Press, has multiple knighthoods, is a colonel, admiral, and lieutenant colonel in several American states, and got a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Obama in 2014. Surprise, surprise. Quick note on this award, since we've seen it pop up for both of these people so far. It was established by George W. as part of the President's Volunteer Service Award program and has several levels based on the hours you've contributed to community service through various programs. 4,000 hours is all you need to get a Lifetime Achievement Award, meaning hundreds of thousands of people have technically qualified. If anyone brags about this, like Richey has on multiple occasions,
it's kind of crazy how many awards are just like so low entry for the bar of like entry, like the qualification. Like even like the Nobel Peace Prize, it takes like being nominated by someone who is eligible to nominate people, and that's it. like, like there's no real requirements beyond just the right person has to nominate you. So I don't know. Sick. That's how that one chick from Israel got nominated. The one who's like actually a demon. A 1 week achievement award. Yeah, I mean that's not even like a lifetime. That's the amount people get assigned when they're facing jail time and they don't want to go to prison, so they're like, I'll do community service. And they get like 4,000 hours assigned to them or something. He did cure, you're right, he did cure Alzheimer's. We should respect this man more. We should put more respect on his name.
it's a massive red flag. David E. Taylor, the scamming pastor I roasted in a prior episode, claimed to have one of these too. He got arrested for fraud. Stop the cap. It's not the same.
You're right. That was pretty vague. Um she was in that like documentary they did, like, not, I think it was like last year, but um hold on. The Settler Woman. Daniela Weiss. Is that her name? This one. So true. So true. But this lady, she's kind of terrifying. She actually is like, he looks. Hey, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. uh
thing as the American Medal of Freedom, which is what y'all are trying to do. If you want more info on Kersey's lies, this article goes into much more detail. That's linked below. Back to Rashad. This doctorate in law, specifically LLD degree in immigration from Azteca University, is on both his LinkedIn and the Fairness Firm's bio. Not sure why he needs an LLD and a JD, but we're going to invalidate it anyway. Azteca University isn't accredited by any institution recognized in the United States or by the Bar Association. The Asia Pacific School of Business, which is what APSB stands for, next to this Master of Science in Cognitive Psychology degree, is a completely fake school. Scrolling down the homepage is more than enough to prove that several times over, as the level of disorganization, random info, and lack of Asian people is a dead giveaway. I watched this banner scroll for a minute before catching Neil deGrasse Tyson, Robin Roberts, and RuPaul. You don't have a cognitive
RuPaul. Hey, yo. What? Why RuPaul? No, for real. I love it. I respect this level of invested, of willing to get into the dirt. I want to be on this level, truly. I respect it.
psych masters. Next, this master's in neurophysics is on his LinkedIn, but didn't make it to the Fairness Firm bio. IIC University of Technology doesn't have a neurophysics graduate program. They literally only teach information systems, and most of the site is in Cambodian, fam. How many languages do you know? The Masters of Science in Neuroscience, he claims is from the University of Pacific. This claim is also echoed on an old version of his LinkedIn, found by Johnny Walker Dredd last year.
He has Duke's logo there, but he claims a Master of Science in Neuroscience at University of Pacific. Again, it's University of the Pacific.
First off, why the hell are you tagging Duke?
Johnny Walker Dredd. King shit. Certified hater. Love him. He's been in the trenches, it seems. I respect that.
If you never went there. And secondly, there is no University of Pacific. Update, I found it, and it is another fake school. What the hell does shine your future mean? Stock pictures. University of Pacific providing curricula. That's an excellent way to start a sentence. Again, this is supposed to be in Nicaragua. Where the hell are all these white people coming from? Just in case, he was referring to the University of Pacific. I'm just give that to y'all. They don't have a neuroscience grad program, bro. You're lying. You don't have a master's in neuroscience. What's left? What's left? We can't forget his PhD in quantum physics from Paris Graduate School. He couldn't seem to make up his mind on what he actually did here, considering the old version of his LinkedIn said he was the department chair of science, law, and philosophy. 3 different departments at any real university.
It's one thing to be the department chair of a physics department or a law department or a philosophy department, but he's the chair of all 3.
The dates were also from July 20.
I just know that man is somewhere having the best goddamn week of his life, okay? He has been waiting for this. Oh my god. Oh man. It's just so much bullshit for no reason. It like, especially when you just think about everything else going on in the world, it's just like it's so much bullshit for absolutely no reason. And now we have to deal with it because you decided you needed to have 50 million degrees and accolades to your name for some goddamn reason. Oh man. No, he's seriously having the best goddamn week of his life. I am sure. He's been waiting for this. I'm 117 videos, okay? like like he's been dedicated. He's been on the front lines. Oh my god, he's been sounding the alarm. No one's been listening. No one's been listening to my buddy over there. Oh, dude. Justice for him, truly.
2023 to present, when Johnny made his video on this a couple years back. Fast forward to today, and the start date is April 2022 all of a sudden, and he's only claiming a PhD in philosophy and quantum physics now. By the way, quantum physics is just a term he loves using. No accredited degree program anywhere puts those two words together. Man is ignorant. Let's hit the homepage of Paris Graduate School. The first sentence I see is incoherent. A graduate school.
No, really, put him in like a tinfoil hat or something. Give him some like coke rim glasses. He can pull off the part, I think. And this also just goes to show how easy it is to lie. Especially about like certain credentials and shit that you have. It's so easy to just be like, yeah, I have this shit. And people just don't check or they don't care. And it's like, on some level, it does make me feel better for not finishing like college and shit like that, because it's like I would feel some type of way if I did finish college and it's like I end up on the other side and I just see motherfuckers like this out here lying about all their all their like degrees and shit. And it's like, well, what the fuck? like, what? Like, why did I even, like, why did I even bother? Like, I could have just lied my way to the top and apparently been fine. But I had to do it the legit way. uh, he lost his university job because of Richie. Did he really? Because that's crazy if true. Should have just faked it, right? Like, why do you even bother? If people could just go out here and be like, yeah, I have all these degrees and no one bothers to check. Like, fuck it. I too have a degree now. Like, suddenly, guess what, guys? I just finished college.
School anywhere shouldn't get a pass for language barriers, but one in Paris definitely doesn't. They don't have a
Okay. Okay, because that would be crazy if that was true, but
quantum physics degree program because no one does. And the last thing, they still list Rashad as the chair of all three departments. You can't even get your LinkedIn on code with the school, fam. The last thing they posted on IG was a pic of him getting his diploma. And that was 3 months ago. So I think it's safe to say this isn't an active school at all. My working theory is that Dr. Sua Akiki, who's the one seen in this diploma photo, founded this diploma mill and slowly built the infrastructure around it to appear legitimate, because their site used to look a lot worse. He has Atlanta's John Marshall Law School on his LinkedIn, even though he flunked out after one semester in 2021. He lists MIT's open courseware in advanced physics, even though that was really 43 downloaded courses he completed on his own time with no real evaluation over the course of 18 years. I guess I passed.
oh, I get you. Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, they do usually end up losing their job or some shit over like bullshit. Yeah. I guess I passed
Film school then. He got an energy medicine certification from UCF that essentially amounts to feeling the aura of somebody's body and translating that to real medicine as if that's a thing that works. All y'all spiritual hoodoo crystal people, don't come at me. And then there's Beulah Heights. He claims 2 degrees from Beulah, where he served as the department chair of adult learning, a BA and an MA. And maybe he actually got those. All I know is I went to their site too, and it's a little known Christian college in Atlanta. Against my will, I get jump scared by Rashad on their header, with a promo telling me he conducted a class teaching kids at Beulah earlier this month on how to incorporate a nonprofit, among other things, for $150 a pop. This must be that community service he's always talking about. If y'all are still watching this after all these fraudulent degrees, I salute you. I got one more that kind of built the foundation of all the other lies. He used to claim that he got yet another PhD.
Like, I care more about like the scamming of the community aspect of it all, because like, I don't think you should be taking a class from this guy for $150 on how to build a like nonprofit or whatever. Like, I'm sure there are better ways to learn how to do that. Or he could just, offer his services for less than that. But I don't know. I don't know. That's my take.
From Schofield Graduate School, which is located in Modesto, California, according to their old site, before they rebranded as Western Orthodox University, because they all rebrand. Here's what that address pulled up on Google. Yeah, that's Schofield Seminary on that sign. It's a neighborhood church, in all like.
Like, what is this?
Likelihood, he just paid.
Like, I just like we could America's such a big goddamn country. You just can say like, oh yeah, this place is a school, it's an accredited school. As long as on paper it says that shit. No one bothers to go and be like, maybe we should look at this location. Does this like fit the description we've been given? God, this stupid country, dude. I don't even know where this is. No, this is California, I think. It says California up here.
This seminary to get his degree. Sounds like that's how Myron got his PhD too. Full circle. Now that we got at least 90% of his degrees out of here and the presidential award, what's left? The quantum physics book he wrote and his medical invention that helps cure Alzheimer's disease. I can't have y'all or any of his fanboys that are going to be in my comments walking away giving him credit for either one of those. This is relevant because the signs of a fake degree extend beyond the schools. People with fake degrees do weirdo shit, period. One of the weird things he's done is turn one of his dissertations into a book on Amazon. It's 90 pages and double spaced, but one look at the cover should tell you everything you need to know. The words take up the whole cover.
That's another thing. Books are also a thing that are like you can just end up with just whatever, because anyone can publish a book as long as they have enough of the the money to do it. Like, you can self-publish a book fairly easily these days as long as you have like a little bit of money and a little bit of like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing yeah, double space, and then you can do like all this shit yourself, or like pay like your friend like $5 to slap a cover together, and then you just have a book. It's just like I love books. I'm a fan of books. One of my goals this year was to read more, but it is funny how you can get books on. There's no rule really to like what you can and cannot put in a book. like, like you can basically write anything. You could say, like, I mean, you can say, like, anything, and it would be categorized under fiction, of course, but you could write a whole, like, religion if you wanted to, and be like, this is whatever. So it is just interesting how much of our society is made up of just like the honor system, really. Do your due diligence, people. Make sure you check your sources. That's my lesson of the day.
Cover. It looks like me trying to design in Microsoft Paint when I was 12. The alignment is off to the right for some reason. There's no space on top. The font is too big. His name isn't aligned correctly. You get it. The title implies that the ancient Egyptians had a grasp of quantum physics, vibratory frequency, which is not a real thing, and geometric sciences. I'm not going to pretend to understand any of it. There's just no evidence to support that. I know it hurts some of my people when I remind you that ancient Egyptians weren't gods and that they have very little connective tissue with our actual ancestors, but we got to move on from the conspiracy theory.
Like, this is a topic I could talk about for a while. Like, I am fascinated by the amount of different, like, how does ancient Egypt know about quantum physics? Yeah, there's like it's such like I don't know if this is the angle he's on, but to me it reminds me a lot of people who are like who this is very much like a more of a philosophical abstract like conversation now, but like I do think that Black Americans have a desire to find some sort of like ancestry to like latch onto because we have been so severed from our actual personal ancestry. Like, we have no real way of tracing it back to specific locations in Africa because we just don't have access to those records or anything like that. And I do think that that has caused a desire to sort of fill in the blank amongst um amongst like Black Americans a lot, and I do think it's ended up in putting us in some interesting sort of spots, if that makes sense. But because I do think that the sort of like desire to really try and find a connection back to like ancient Egypt, for example, comes from, this sort of desire to connect with some culture or some ancestry. But that's a whole topic. And one that I am not a personal expert on, but that's just my sort of hypothesis about that.
That's not what we're here for today. As for this invention of his, the one that supposedly helps cure Alzheimer's, he claimed he beat the MIT group to the punch in developing his brain entrainment device. But these devices had existed years beforehand. The treatment itself has existed for 50 years, to be exact, according to the National Institute of Health. He's claimed that he was granted provisional patent status. I'm so tired of doing finger quotes, but everything he says is a lie. But there's no such thing as provisional status. He has a patent application in the system, and it hasn't been granted yet. It's that simple. NeuroEM, a company with actual devices on the market, has 2 patents for wearable devices designed to slow or stop Alzheimer's disease, with one dating back to 2015. They're licensing their devices out already. I honestly hope yours does what you say it does, Rashad. It's a noble effort. That application looks like it was a lot of work to put together too, but you gotta stop lying. His publication, Rolling Out, published a puff piece praising his research paper about quantum physics. It was published in a pay-for-play publication called the International Journal of Science and Research.
Like, I do think the Alzheimer's thing is a little scummy because you're also kind of playing on like people having this like hope that you can cure Alzheimer's, you know, that you can help their loved ones or help them slow the progression. Um yeah, I don't know a lot about I've never been to Egypt, but um I don't know a whole lot about that stuff, but I imagine Ancient Aliens has done a lot of damage to the public perception of Egypt and just that kind of thing, like Stonehenge and that kind of thing. Just given how many people these days will buy into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, I suspect that Ancient Aliens has done a real number. uh Look, my own father is a god, is an alien person, so you know, I had that conversation with him one time and I never pressed it again. Just let that one go. Oh man.
Research, which sounds legit, but it pretends to be a scientific journal. We know this because of this impact score on top of the page. Those scores are given out by the Web of Science organization, and they have a searchable database. That journal doesn't show up. So this score is completely fabricated. Speaking of fabrication, please pay attention to this part. The International Journal of Science and Research, which I just called out as fake, published a video on YouTube that says this.
Dr. Richey is the patent holder for the neurological brain entrainment device.
He doesn't hold a patent. We've been over this. Listening to this video's narration made it kind of clear that, in my opinion, he's using AI to craft these stories in the first place, and then putting AI voiceovers on his own videos.
Meet Paris Graduate School professor.
Paris Graduate School isn't real.
Cognitive decline.
That's another thing about AI. I do think it has opened up a whole new well of awfulness when it comes to scamming and scammers. He debunks conspiracy theories. Yeah. So, anyway. Um yeah. I just the whole thing is just like, ugh. I don't know. I just think people have an interesting perspective on these things these days.
Seemingly reversed course and hailed in Tech Times magazine, Meditech Today, and Forbes as potentially the leading technology in the search to find a cure to Alzheimer's.
Yes, Forbes is a real claim that Rashad himself made on his Instagram. It isn't just this weird YouTube video. But if you look closely, it says Forbes Switzerland. Forbes Switzerland is a real site. I typed in Rashad Richey in the search.
Don't even get me started on AI, dude. It's so bad. It's just a net negative to society as a whole. I hate it so much. It's ruined people's ability to like critically think as well. Like we were already on a downward trend when it came to critical thinking. And now we have people using AI to offload those functions, and it's like, stop, you're stop. You're going to kill us all. We're all going to die because of just stupidity and no water. Like, that's it. There's gonna be no water, and we're all gonna be dumb as hell.
Bar, and it turned this up. That's Swedish for bullshit. All right, this has been a lot, and I hear what y'all are thinking.
Give them a chance to defend themselves.
Not only did I reach out to Rashad before releasing this piece, But he's already tried to defend himself against these allegations. They're not new. This crazy long article published by his fake propaganda.
Oh, trust me, I know. Before everyone started asking Grok to remove the clothes of women because everything sucks. I did used to like occasionally go through Grok's replies because I was like looking for interesting ones to possibly do a video on it or something. And so I would just like scroll through them, and yeah, it's ooh. it it is really, it will make you question your faith in society and humanity for sure. Yeah, it's integrated into so much stuff now too, and I try to avoid it as much as I can. Um it's integrated into like YouTube, it's integrated into all sorts of shit. It's yeah, it's not great. But it is a bubble, so it is likely to pop at some point. Who knows? We'll see. I mean, if that happens, I don't think that'll be good for the economy from what I understand, but we'll all be free at least. uh
Site, Science News Watch, was found by the fake PhD investigator. He uncovered that a woman named Crystal Bowie, another media figure who retired from being a reporter to move into running a PR firm called Spotlight Communications Group, remember that name, helped him create a network of fake sites. How do we know these sites are owned by Rashad and his associate Crystal? This domain tracker site lists him as a former owner of one of them, AmericanNewsNow.us. The email attached to it is info@spotlightcommunicationsgroup.com. I told y'all to remember that joint. Y'all were slick in disguising the other ones like Science News Watch, but you got sloppy. First thing we see in the article that's supposed to be defending him is the listed writers and contributors. Nancy Trumbull, PhD. T. Eccles. I don't know if any of these people are real. They don't show up on Google. One of them, Detective Kay Ashford from the National Investigation and Intelligence Agency, is definitely fake because that agency doesn't exist. The lack of first names is a tell at this point. In Plant isn't real, and Erica Wilson is just the lawyer from the Fairness firm. These doctors at the bottom exist, but they're just being brought up as support for all these lies. I'm not presenting this whole article, and the site literally doesn't exist anymore, so I'll speed run this and link it below. He defends his degree from University of Pacific, which I've proven is a fake school. What the hell?
sorry, I am having some issues with my computer. And I might have to restart the stream here, but we'll see. Ugh, I don't know why it's doing this.
The shine.
It's something to do with OBS. Hello? Richie hacked. Richie hacked. No, he's out to get me. It's true. I don't know if I'm back yet. Can you hear me? So that might have fixed it. Can't be sure. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think I fixed it. Yeah, it's like OBS has been doing it did that yesterday too. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know if that's my computer dying finally or if it's just OBS being stupid. So we'll see. Hopefully it's OBS and not my computer.
Find your future meme and defends a degree we haven't even mentioned from the school in Haiti. This master's in agronomical physics, which he doesn't claim anywhere public. It's not something offered at that school. We've been over this. All these images are stock photos I've already shown you from the school's sites. And there's 0 images of him at those schools. What does a bunch of Asian people graduating have to do with you? This pic from Euro American University has John Kersey in it. He says himself that Beulah Heights University is accredited. And he really shouldn't have said that. I double checked which kind of accreditation they have, and it's called TRACS, a national accreditation used for Christian colleges.
It might be OBS then. I don't know. I'm not a super expert. I know enough to get by, but I'm not like super well versed in the ins and outs of this kind of stuff, but learning as we go. That's what I say.
Regional accreditation is the gold standard, not national. This national accreditation doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't have been talking shit. Y'all gotta see by now that this is a hustle. Obscure, non-existent school systems are being used by these clout goblins to build up their brand and get the bag. He announced a brand new degree this year from the Giesel School of Medicine at Dartmouth, as if anybody.
Yeah, I think for me that's like the bigger issue in all of this is the scamming of people who probably can't really afford all of this shit to begin with, but are trying to get some sort of level of upward mobility of improving their prospects, so they're trying to get degrees or whatever. And I do think that is the aspect of this that is the most like that's like the scummy um part that makes me actually look at Rashad Richey kind of sideways, you know? Like that's the part that bothers me the most, more than him lying about having all these degrees. Like that part it's like whatever. If he just owned up to it, it would be like whatever. But I'm more interested in hearing him kind of explain the possible sort of scamming aspect of all of this. What now? He has a medical degree. Yeah, yeah, he's got so much fucking shit. I don't even know.
Who already believed the rest of this nonsense needed more convincing. Mr. Rashad Richey is a 2-degree, at best, charlatan, wearing the clothes of a progressive media figure, standing on.
Right, which is why I think that, which is why I do sort of believe all of this, and I don't think it's like that out of the realm of possibility, or that like obviously he's presented a lot of evidence and stuff too, so I believe it because of that. But it's not like something that I'm like, oh, that seems really unbelievable or like that, because I do think that's just the environment at TYT. I do think that to work at TYT you have to have that sort of profit first mentality, um or just an extreme loyalty to the brand at this point. And it's kind of you know, flipping a coin on which one you're getting, but I do think a lot of them probably land more on doing it for profit and having a more profit first motive than actually worrying about their output at this point.
A soapbox full of lies. If y'all want a part two, exploring more people with inflated PhDs, or more details about Richie's ties to conservatives behind all this progressive content he makes for the Young Turks, let me know. I'll catch y'all in 2026. Thank you for the support in this journey as I try my best.
So he did do a part 2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about John to like make a judgment call on him either.
In the
But
first part of this,
I don't know. John seems like I don't get any immediate like red flags or like bad vibes from John. I do think he's probably the person who is there because of loyalty to the brand. At this point, like if there is one person among them that is there out of loyalty to like the TYT brand and everything that's been built, I think it's probably him more than anybody. But aside from that, I do think it's a lot of just more so there for the profit, maybe there because you're invested in TYT as a entity and you want to see it succeed still, but the writing is on the wall in my opinion. It's like things have just gotten sort of it just I don't know, it just seems like they're stagnating. They're not growing really from what I can tell, and I don't really I don't really know what they could do to rehabilitate themselves at this point. About his shady pivot behavior. Yeah, he's definitely got like I don't know. I just I for Jank, it's like combined with like what he's done publicly and then like some things you'll hear like people will mention like things that have happened behind the scenes, and it does seem it seems like he's very much a profit first person, and he like has openly identified as a capitalist these days. Like straight up saying he's a capitalist. So I do think that he's just very much profit first, and um yeah, they've burned a lot of bridges. They've burned a lot of bridges. Yeah, they burned a lot. Yeah, it's just it's not great. It's not looking so hot for them. Um yeah, they burned a lot of bridges. They've made a lot of just stupid decisions because I think that at the end of the day a lot of it wasn't necessary, wasn't needed, and they could have just been they could have just continued to be I don't know. Um I don't know. I do think there's a little bit of like the older you get, sometimes your views start to change, and that could be playing a part. I do think that time goes on, people change their views, so there's that. But I don't know, if you're like at your core you have certain beliefs, then I imagine you keep them. But I do think Jank is just has just always been a bit of a capitalist, which is, that's his prerogative. He's allowed to make that choice.
series, I guess, I talked about the many, many fake degrees of Rashad Richey, a political media figure who's been prominent in the YouTube and larger black political landscape for years. He works with the Young Turks.
Yeah, Anna's an interesting one because I do think they that Jank and Anna have been on a similar but like separate kind of journey. Like they're on a similar pivot to like towards the right, but at the same time they're on like a different journey. Like I think Anna's pivot comes from a more personal um sort of like offended position. Like I think it started with the birthing person's conversation and everything with like Emma Vigeland after that, and like that, and feeling personally scorned by that, because she'll always talk about how she started to change her opinion on right wingers when she had like a personal interaction with a right winger who helped her get her bike like inside or something. She was having trouble with her bike, and this guy, this neighbor of hers who's a right winger, helped her out, and she was like, "Oh, they're not all bad." So I do think that a lot of Anna's sort of response comes from a more personal place. Um, she does have things that she'll sort of stand firm on, but I think a lot of it just comes from the like the left or leftists. They they hurt her feelings, you know. And I think that Janko has a little bit of that too, where um he feels a little bit scorned by people to the left, and now he tries to position himself away from that. But I do think that if anything, feeling scorned by people on the left allowed them to make that clean break a little bit easier, as opposed to going back and forth on, are they going to try and be more to the left? Are they going to try and go more to the right? They were just kind of like, no, fuck them. We're going to make a more right leaning pivot. They both do, for sure, yeah. They both have a bit of a personal, like, vendetta against the left. And it's like, I don't necessarily like to get into, that's not true. I do like to be messy. Um, I do think that Jank obviously has a bit of a personal vendetta against Sam Cedar, for example. like like he's definitely got a bit of a personal gripe with Sam. Um and Anna as well with Emma. So it is interesting to see that sort of dynamic play out for sure. Where they definitely have these like personal vendettas against these people at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It's something.
Network and broadcast progressive debates and opinion pieces, as well as top Karen of the Year segments. You know, important political discussions like that. I joke, I joke. I actually ran down his accolades at the top.
And Francesca too, yeah, for sure. Um Especially since like Jank and her had that conversation, like I don't know if it was like before the election or after, shortly after the election or something, but they had that conversation where Francesca was very much correct about basically everything, and Jank was being Jank, and that was like the last like big conversation they had before everything sort of hit the fan. But um yeah, yeah, I don't know. A lot of it's interesting because I do think a lot of their transition here has come from personal gripes against people and trying to sort of position themselves away from them. But at the same time, I do think it also just comes from a desire for profit and money.
Of my previous piece on him, which is what brings us here today. After covering all the programs he's appeared on and the Southeast Regional Emmy that he was nominated for, among other things, I moved into all the lying. And there's a lot of it. Since I gave him a heads up that that piece was coming out 48 hours before releasing it, which is standard for journalistic publications, he responded with a full edited TV segment.
That's true. It's definitely like a different sort of like it comes from different places for each of them. Like Jank is more stubborn, Anna is more petty for sure. Uh it's it's interesting because these are grown adults, like these are people who have been in the business for a significant amount of time, and so it's very interesting to see them have this kind of unraveling at this point in their careers. But I guess that just goes to show how strong one's ego can be, I guess. I don't know. Because for me, it just seems like making mountains out of molehills for a lot of these things. And also just not being willing to sort of contend with certain beliefs that they have. Like they are a little transphobic, like they definitely don't have the sort of best views when it comes to trans people, when it comes to trans rights, in my opinion, at least. Um, they did lose followers for their pivot, yeah. Um, but it's the same thing kind of with like taking like certain sponsors and stuff. I imagine that if the outcome is worth more than the followers that they lose, they'll they'll probably like be okay with it. But I don't know how much they're making from all of this at this point. I'm not really sure about all of that, but I could definitely see them sort of weighing the risk benefit analysis.
The day after I released it, defending himself against my allegations. He didn't call me out by name, but my piece came out the day before and got 100,000 views. So I think I'm good in estimating that I was the reason he was making it. He really tried his best to defend the indefensible with painstaking details, but it was very inadequate, in my opinion, and I'm going to show y'all why. There's actually a long list of things I called him out for that he didn't defend in that piece or even bring up because he didn't watch my video before making that response. Unfortunately, that was a mistake. Here's the claims I made that he didn't address, just so we get those out the way. IIC University, where he got that neurophysics degree. IIC University of Technology doesn't have a neurophysics graduate program. They literally only teach information systems, and most of the site is in Cambodian, fam. How many languages do you know? European American University, who he got several degrees through via John Kersey, a conservative who has a chain of fake degrees and fake things assigned to his name as well, as I reviewed in the first video. Also another fake degree. The Asia Pacific School of Business. He used to claim a degree from this one as well. That is also a fake school, as I reviewed in the first part. He didn't mention this. His degree from the Schofield Seminary. This is a neighborhood church that I reviewed in the first part as well. He's claimed all of these degrees and accomplishments on his LinkedIn and on the description for the Fairness Firm, a firm he created as a person who doesn't practice law because he hasn't passed the bar. I also mentioned his quantum.
Like, I do think it's interesting when people have to respond to certain controversies and they pick and choose what they're going to respond to, right? Because that allows them to control the narrative better. So it is telling the things that he decides to respond to and the things that he doesn't decide to respond to, for sure. But like, I just, if you're gonna do a response video, you gotta do, you gotta contend with all of it. You can't just pick and choose. But a lot of people pick and choose. These must all be online courses. I imagine a lot of them, if they have to be. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with getting degrees online and that kind of thing, but I have to imagine that if you're even getting like any of this shit, it has to be like some sort of online course or something like that.
Physics book and his cure for Alzheimer's.
Dr. Richey is the patent holder for the neurological.
Like that just looks like I don't know, like a VR headset or something. I don't know what I expected it to look like, but I don't know. Can't make the Vosh mistake and address everything. I mean, I think that it definitely like there are definitely like things that you can probably skip over, but I would address like the bigger things, like the big points for sure. Um but yeah, I mean, you can't like sit there and address like every single point someone makes. Like that'll probably take a long time. But I do think that if you're going to be thorough about addressing criticism of you, then you should probably pick the important points for sure. Make sure you like get the points that really matter.
Brain entrainment device.
He doesn't hold a patent. We've been over this. Listening to this video's narration made it kind of clear that, in my opinion, he's using AI to craft these stories in the first place, and then putting AI voiceovers on his own videos. Both of those things were in my first installment, and neither of them appeared in his response video. So that is all the things.
I think he should address that. Plug into the mage. Like for real, is it some sort of like VR like VR like headset? I don't know. Like how does it actually work? Like I'm curious to know how this I guess like the science behind how this machine works. I mean, he did say that there were patents out there for similar sort of ideas, so I guess they do exist, but I'm not sure of how they work or what the actual science behind them is. I mean, hold on, let's see here. Maybe we can find something. Oh god, I'm gonna like butcher spelling Alzheimer's. Uh, yeah, I'm not finding anything that looks like that, but I also don't know what to research here. Like I don't know what I should type into the search bar to find neurosurgeon pioneers Alzheimer's um holy shit. I mean, I guess that's about how much one would. This is a this is not what I'm looking for, but I guess you can buy a machine to like do something for your brain. Like it's a MitoMind helmet, near infrared light therapy for brain health. It plugs into your brain. I don't know what this they've got an instructional video.
Hi and welcome to Mito Red Light. My name's Kaylee and today we're going to be showing you how to put together your MitoMind helmet. Your MitoMind helmet comes in this really cool bag and you're just going to open it up and find your helmet. But then you're going to find a lot more accessories here too and your power cables. With your MitoMind package, you'll receive the MitoMind helmet, the MitoMind controller, the cable that will go between the helmet and the controller and also plugs into your adapter. You'll have your adapter and the cable that runs to your outlet. And then for your comfort, we have a wide variety of sponges and devices that will help.
But what does it do?
Pad inside of your helmet. With adding padding to your helmet, as you will see.
So it's just like a MitoMind Advantage. Also, this thing is like $2,000, mind you. It's down from nearly $3,000. It has 8 reviews. It's a light therapy for brain health. I don't understand what this does. Like, this is not what I was looking for, but I don't understand what this does. I've had the helmet for about 4 weeks. It has not helped my condition or symptoms as of today. I have a mast cell disease with severe depression. I will try for another couple of weeks to see if it has an impact on my depression. Like, that's like that sucks. Like, if this is like, I don't know like what this thing does or how it's supposed to like help you, but to me, I'm gonna say I'm a little skeptical of the science. Like, it's just brain, like, I guess like infrared waves going through your brain, and it's supposed to like help you relax. Okay, all right, no, that's chill. Sure, science, man. How light therapy enhances brain health. Like, I'm gonna be real. I've never seen a person with a helmet like this. Like, there's a couple helmets out there like this. They're all very expensive, and I've never known anyone who actually has one. It says well researched, and then it says there are 3 completed studies. That okay. Does this qualify as well researched? Flashing lights can cause seizures, yeah. But this is like putting like a helmet on your head and then having the, I guess, like the infrared waves pass through. But does this qualify as well researched? 3 completed studies, 9 ongoing studies, 14 planned studies. Like, I don't know. I think that you need to have like a, like, at least like 3 completed studies. Is that well researched? I don't know. I'm unsure of that, friend. Unsure of that. All right. My ADHD is getting the better of me.
That I alleged that he had no response for and no answer for. Now, let's move into the things he tried to defend in his response. I'm going to point out why each and every one of them doesn't hold up in the light. But first, I have to start with a school I didn't even mention in my first video, Clark Atlanta University. I didn't bring that up in part 1 because I never said it was a lie. I told him at the end of the video that he has 2 degrees at best, and I meant advanced degrees.
Yeah, when the studies are done. But like 3 studies done? Is that, I mean, maybe my expectations are too high. They could be for sure. I just think when it comes to your brain that maybe we should raise the bar a little bit, you know? Like, when we're talking about like shit that you're fucking with your brain, you know? You only got one of those, and it's a little complicated. Just think we should be careful with them.
Was never concerned about his bachelor's degrees or any associate's degrees he might have. None of that was even on my radar. I saw it on the listings, but that was not something I was looking to challenge. So that's not really up for debate here. Clark Atlanta is actually one of the only schools that he has pictures of that he attended and graduated from for sure, where he has a degree on the wall. Unfortunately, there's a problem when it comes to this Clark Atlanta University mention, right?
I think 5 is definitely better. I still personally might raise the bar a little bit higher when it comes to your brain and like the brain, but I think that more than 3 is definitely somewhere between like more than 3 and I don't know, at least 10. But I think that 5 is definitely a decent one for sure. It's better than 3.
He mentions that he published his dissertation in a journal called the International Journal of Science and Research. In part 1, I broke down how this is a predatory journal that is not peer-reviewed and not double-blind in any way. Sounds legit, but it pretends to be a scientific journal. We know this because of this impact score on top of the page. Those scores are given out by the Web of Science organization, and they have a searchable database. That journal doesn't show up. So this score is completely fabricated. It's listed by an independent organization that finds and lists and evaluates predatory journals. This journal has very aggressive solicitation, meaning they're thirsty for submissions and they're asking for them all the time. Journals don't do that. They have very low editorial standards and they review and post very quickly. All these things are not things you're going to find in any respected scientific journal. This is the only journal he has ever been published in, and it's an invalid predatory journal. It's going to come up a couple more times in this story, so I have to make this point. Why is the only journal you can get published in based in India? That doesn't say anything sketch to you? This may be his only real dissertation. Maybe this dissertation is real, but the publisher is extremely suspect. And putting that front and center as something you're going to brag about to solidify your credentials on an international broadcast, that's
No, it's definitely further along than Richie's for sure. I'm not like arguing that it's I'm not even arguing that it doesn't work. I don't know. Um um I do think advertising it as well researched when there's only 3 completed studies is a little bit misleading, but um it is definitely like heads and tails above whatever Rashad Richey had has going for him at this moment. But yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
not a good look.
And you will find it in the fully refereed, peer reviewed, double blind academic journal called the International Journal of Science and Research.
The generic name of this journal indicates that they have no real credentials and no specific area of focus. Real journals have more descriptive names in them, like cognitive research, and they don't combine science and research in the same name.
Many are shocked to know that I was accepted at Dartmouth College and enrolled, and currently a student at Dartmouth.
No, for sure. He's definitely not curing Alzheimer's. I don't know. I don't know if anybody is, to be honest. I mean, I assume that if there was a cure for Alzheimer's, that would be a pretty big deal. I imagine there are probably things out there that help slow the process, that help sort of um I guess like I don't know, like mitigate the effects or whatever, but I don't think there's like a proper cure out there. That seems a little extreme to say. But I don't know. I'm not keeping up on the, breaking news in Alzheimer's research. That's not something I've latched onto personally.
College, in particular, the School of Medicine.
I never directly challenged his current enrollment in the Giesel School at Dartmouth. I hope he graduates.
I also hold a master's in agronomical physics. Agronomical physics from
this master's in agronomical physics, on the other hand, I debunked that in the last video, and I'm gonna.
No, like for sure. Like you would be getting many accolades, many awards, many big recognition if you managed to cure Alzheimer's. Like you would I like more people would probably have heard of Rashad Richey if he had actually done that. Not saying that he's not well known already, but I just think that he would be a much more well known figure if he had managed to cure Alzheimer's.
Debunk it harder right now. The University of Renaissance. Whenever you hear the word Renaissance in this video, he's referring to the Université de la Renaissance de Haiti, based in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
My master's thesis, which is double-blind, peer-reviewed, and published.
We have totally invalidated this journal already. Did AI write this?
The University of Renaissance. They have a partnership with the University of Rennes 2, which is one of the largest research universities in France.
They had, emphasis on past tense, a partnership with Rennes 2 University, which he calls out in his response video. That partnership may not be in effect anymore. They do have a partnership with University of Montreal. That is true. Again, like I said in the last video, real university. I doubt the degree, though. University of Renaissance offers limited second cycle programs in collaboration with the University of Montreal. Agronomy doctorates ain't one of them. If you're going to publish your research in a fake journal time and time and time again, it calls into question the degree itself. People who go through the steps to actually get degrees don't go through the steps to fake their credentials after the fact. This master's in quantum physics from Paris Graduate School. I talked about Paris Graduate School in the last one. I talked about this degree in the last one. And I'll go into more detail here to explain all the red flags I'm seeing and how he's describing his experience. The IEE report can't be verified, by me at least, due to a blocked reference number. I called them and they said they need that number in order to validate anything. He blacked that out, and it doesn't seem like that number would give up any personally identifiable information. So that feels a little sketchy.
So many times, I guess. Like, it's just, again, it's like, it's a lot, and I guess, I mean, ultimately it comes down to wanting to keep the scams going, wanting to keep the, wanting to keep up appearances, wanting to keep things flowing as they are. So he's gonna try and double down, triple down, do everything he can to keep things from blowing up, but at this point, I think you just cut your losses and you say, fuck it, like, I need to figure out some road to self-preservation here, and I think that the best road to that is to own up to it and just be like, yep, you got me. Fuck, man. Like, even if you don't mean it, even if you don't, like, even if you're not seriously apologetic, like, just, I don't know, say fuck it at this point. Like, you can't save your diploma mills, so give it up and move on. Look at the date. That was a few months ago. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know, like, when all of, like, when, again, like, when does he have the time for this either?
Also, this report doesn't match any samples I found online. They usually have a breakdown of the courses he took and the performance in those courses. But I do get that it's an employment report. Maybe I haven't seen those. I'll leave the door open for that.
Put up my dissertation defense for that physics degree.
This image is a collage of a photo op and some obscure documents that I can't see or verify in any way, and neither can anybody else. So those alone don't give me a peace of mind that this is not a diploma mill. He's claiming,
Like, and this is another thing. The standard of evidence is so low because he's like, "Oh, let me show you, like, about my dissertation." And then he puts up, like, a picture of, like, him in a room with, like, people, and it's like, "Okay, but that doesn't prove anything." Like, I don't know what's happening in these pictures. Like, y'all could be doing anything. Y'all could be having the conversation about, like, cake for all I know. You could be comparing cake recipes. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting. What's the point of continuing if it's no longer a benefit? Yeah. He could be worried about jank. I think it's probably thinking that he can salvage this in some way. He has managed to get away with it for this long, so he probably thinks that he can figure something out here, but I don't think it's gonna work out. I don't think he can get out of the situation as easily as he thinks he can. I think there's too many eyes on this.
This degree was facilitated by some kind of special pilot program that involved Dr. Willie Rockford from Morgan State University. Well, Paris Graduate School is not a documented partner of Morgan State University anywhere on the internet except your posts. You're the only one who's ever talked about it. I get that it may be a pilot program back then, but some kind of announcement, something would have been said about this if it was real. I'm suspicious. I covered Paris Graduate School in the last video, so let's add to what I said there. I searched the approved institute list at the Department of Education for Paris Graduate School and IKI, and those things combined, and nothing showed up. Paris Graduate School claims accreditation via the CUFCE, or the California University FCE. What the hell is Prime Light University? Y'all can't even fake your certificates correctly. A real one would repeat Paris Graduate School here. I found the page for the CUFCE.
Like, that's funny. Like, what is Prime Light? Oh, it's such low effort. Like, come on. Again, if you're gonna scam, at least put in some effort.
This one says it's official. It says it's cleared lawsuits and...
Bro, what is this website? What is this website? Established since August 2001. Yeah, that's the last time they updated the fucking website too. Like, hello? James Madison Wikipedia link. Search link, free online classes, NCES program, home, about us, US government registrations. Dude. Order now, US professional ID card equivalent, $65 only. We the people, just like what is this?
People need to drop their allegations, etc. So they're acting like they're the real thing.
And then yeah, is that a Peru domain? I don't know. Jesus. Foreign Credential Evaluation, Amor Solo Foundation Incorporated. Oh wow. No, it's incredible. It's a great close source. Wikipedia. I mean, Wikipedia gets a lot of shit, but like, you could definitely do a lot worse for sources. Like the thing about Wikipedia is you literally the sources are linked there, so you can just go to the source. If you're like worried about it. So that is, Wikipedia gets a lot of shit, but it's got better standards than some places do for sure.
No comment on this design. I scrolled to the bottom to see some of the organizations they're partnered with to bolster their accreditations. And I clicked where they told me to for the NACE. They don't show up on this site under the members. Y'all told me to click here. I can't definitively say that there aren't any legal loopholes that I'm not aware of here, but there's a lot of suspect signs that screams diploma mill. This groundbreaking work that's mentioned in this article by Paris Graduate School isn't published anywhere. There's not a version of it we can see. You didn't even put it in this international journal of yours, which is surprising.
I've seen some of the ridiculous comments that have been made about this, and it's unfair to my colleagues. It's unfair to the students that I teach every day, and it's unfair to those who obtain higher education by any means, regardless of if it's approved by some said accrediting body or not.
Wait, what?
If you learned something, that is the point. And I've always been an advocate and champion of learning and educational models that are outside of the box.
Yeah, you definitely said what I thought you said.
Now, now, sir. Look. I am someone who thinks that education should be accessible to everybody, and it should be free, and everyone should have that option if they so choose. Obviously, we don't live in that world. And so I'm not like opposed to people seeking knowledge and stuff from outside bodies, from like things outside of the sort of um the like, approved avenues or the expected avenues. Like, it's fine if you don't get your knowledge from like a traditional college, but then you can't like pretend that you're getting your knowledge from like a legit college or like a legit um school. Like, you just present it for what it is. Like, say you got it from this other source. Like, I like in lying about this, in trying to make it seem like you got it from like a legit sort of school or a legit sort of place, you're kind of conceding the fact that you also buy into the notion that these that there is a legit like avenue to receive education, and there is like a non-legit avenue. Like, you're kind of leading into this like elitism in your lie. Like, just own up to the fact that you got it from this separate entity, this like alternative source, and verify it and deal with it for like what it is. Like, as opposed to being like, oh no, this is a legit school. Like, it's like, it's legit, everything's legit, don't look any deeper, just own it. Just say fine.
How are you defending these schools' accreditations while also saying they don't matter?
Just to know, having
Like again, like, if you want to get your information from, I mean, if you get your shit from someplace that's not accredited or someplace that's not legit, it's like, I'm not even gonna sit here and be like your information is automatically like bad, or like your degree doesn't matter. Like, we can give weight to that, but give it the weight it deserves, give it the recognition it deserves, which is what it actually is, which is not from a legit, like, quote unquote legit accredited school or whatever, accredited school. It's from this alternative sort of source.
one doctoral degree actually qualifies you as a scholar, by the way. Just one of them does.
There's no qualification to become a scholar. That's not a formal term that has any requirements list. It's just something people like you like to throw around to establish yourself and bolster your credentials. But it usually comes with significant peer-reviewed research, of which you have none. Hey, you decided to call yourself that, not me. I'm not taking shots at you because I'm better than you or something like that, which is what a lot of y'all tend to take away from this. As I ended my last video, I acknowledge that he has more doctorates than I do. I got a bachelor's degree. But I've never lied about any of my education.
Yes, I have a law degree. Put it up, full mass. My law degree does, in fact, qualify me to take the bar in the United States of America.
We're back to the University of Renaissance with this law degree. The A to Z.
I will say, oh, you're fine. I will say one thing that does sort of stick out to me is he blacked out his date of birth on the other form for some reason, but did not do it here. All you missed was he said, he basically called out um like Rashad Richey was talking about like the accreditation of the schools and stuff like that, and I was saying that I don't even like, if you're gonna go to some place that's like not accredited, that's, I honestly think that's fine, but just like represent it as what it is. Like, don't try and make it out to be accredited, which is seemingly what's happening here. But yeah, I do think it's interesting that he blocked out his birthday on the other one and did not do it here for some reason. For some reason, it was not blocked out here, Rashad Richey, so we have the date of birth.
Evaluation report he posted is from a former member of
NACES, NACES, is the top credential evaluation service for this professional licensure,
not a current one. Members are typically removed for failing to adhere to ethical requirements. Make of that what you will.
I completed my Doctor of Jurisprudence at Renaissance University through their law program.
Foreign universities can only qualify for 1/3 of the required law credits, which means you had to get them from somewhere else, right? That would be Birmingham School of Law, which you said you spent a brief amount of time at, and John Marshall Law School in Atlanta, which you flunked out of. I know that because there's a letter from the registrar on screen who says that you failed out academically both times. You failed to mention that in your response video. You did allude to COVID and explain why there were difficulties involved and why you left and had to transfer, but you didn't mention failing out. Also, these institutions that do qualify need to have a partnership with a parent school based in the US or a parent school that's at least acknowledged in some way
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you know your
by the
shit,
American
then
Bar
if you know your shit, then it doesn't matter. Like I that's ultimately how I feel about it. Like I don't really it doesn't matter to me if you got your knowledge from fucking like I don't know Harvard or like a community college or some other entity that's not accredited under international or whatever or local sort of accreditation. But if you know what you're talking about and you can back it up, then that's fine. Like just be honest about where you're coming from. To be fair, he had a full-time job. Yeah. Yeah.
Association, which only acknowledges US schools. Yeah, there is none. There are no partnerships with US based schools that can back this up. So this isn't going to fly.
Now, this is from the National Private Investigation and Intelligence Firm that specializes in credential evaluation.
The National Intelligence and Investigation Firm he's referring to is the NPII. I found their website and I saw this address in the contact section. It matches the one he lists for his various businesses. This printout is from the fake college he created. That's coming later. So he owns the firm he's citing to investigate his credentials? You're investigating yourself.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, all right. I mean, that kind of, defeats the purpose, defeats the point, but okay, cool. Just sure. Like, if he had just owned up to it, if he just owned up and said, my bad, we wouldn't be getting all this extra shit. Like, we wouldn't be getting into, like, how much more he has also lied or misrepresented his accomplishments and accolades and that kind of thing. So he is bad. He keeps lying. Like, I don't know, man. Oh, jeez.
Like the cops.
You're just drawing so much more attention to you're just drawing so much more attention to everything. Like you could have just ended this at you faked a couple degrees and that could have been it, but now it's like you're faking degrees, you're also like doing a bunch of like stuff behind the scenes to make it look legit. And so it's like, how much more are you lying about? Like at this point, it's just kind of like the trust is breaking down. Like you're losing that trust that you've built up with your audience all this time. Oh, it's a little sad to see. Like I don't have like a huge attachment to Dr. Richey or anything, but it is just a little bit sad to see someone kind of go out like this because it didn't have to be like this. Because he's faking, because he's got to layer. Because when you tell one lie, you end up telling all these other lies to back up the one lie. It's it's a very simple sort of process of lying where you tell one lie and then you have to keep building on that lie to make it legit. So I imagine that's what's happened here is he told the lie of, he has these degrees and he's doing all this shit and then he has to keep building on all of that to make it seem legit. Yeah.
Another piece of evidence. A viewer sent me this, a PR.com listing for the business, NPII, with his email address as the primary. I can't make this up. I'm not creative enough. I elaborated on the fake websites he's created to bolster his credentials in my first video. This crazy long article published by his fake propaganda site, Science News Watch, was found by the fake PhD investigator. He uncovered that a woman named Crystal Bowie, another media figure who retired from being a reporter to move into running a PR firm called Spotlight Communications Group, remember that name, helped him create a network of fake sites. How do we know these sites are owned by Rashad and his associate Crystal?
Doctor of Jurisprudence degree, is from an accredited university, and is considered a qualifying law degree.
Private intelligence agency would not generate a report that drowns us in a Wikipedia article list of famous people that attended this university in order to help us believe them.
BHU holds multiple accreditations, including TRACS, Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools, and accreditor recognized by the United States Department of Education.
BHU is TRACS accredited. That is true. I acknowledged that in my first video, and I took a shot at TRACS because although it's qualified with the Department of Education as a national accreditor, it's based on Christian colleges. Unless your degree is in theology, I don't see the point of touting a Christian accreditor as the credentials you need for your degree to be relevant.
Also, I completed a one-year program in neuroscience. That was a 45 credit program, I believe, maybe a 41. It was a 40 credit program. So in that program, they analyzed it.
Nah, you mean you analyzed it.
Richey completed a one-year 40 credit Master of Science in Neuroscience at the Universidad del Pacifico de Nicaragua. This was their international program for American students.
The University of Pacific, UNIP.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what to say. I will have to end this stream after this video though because I have to do some laundry for my mother before tomorrow. And so and it's like the laundry room is right next to where I'm at, so it'll kick up a bunch of noise in the background, so I will have to call it for the night here in a minute, but it is also almost 1 a.m. I didn't realize it had gotten to be that point. My bad.
I covered this in my first video. This is a fake school, and I stand by that. All of their partner universities on the site are also fake schools. These doctors he's naming right now on screen, the only thing that comes up for any of these names in connection to UNIP is a puff piece published by one of the sites that you allegedly own based on all the research I talked about in video 1. Riddle me this. Why exactly does this chunk of text from this random article match this report from NPII, a supposed third-party firm, word for word? You must think we're stupid.
Karen Chang is listed as the university's international relations officer.
Karen Chang is a very popular name, but the one you're talking about doesn't show up anywhere that I can see.
Listed faculty include notable medical biochemist Dr. Kim.
That's true as well. He is definitely dragging a lot of people down with him here. He's definitely dragging a lot of people down with him. So interesting. I'm curious I imagine I imagine they will probably have the they have the luxury of not necessarily having a platform that they have to respond on and defend themselves on. So they really only have to deal with this if it becomes like a problem in their day-to-day life, or if it becomes a legal issue. But I do think it's interesting how he is just kind of like throwing out all these names and stuff, like, listen, like, there's this person and this person and this person. And then it's like, okay, well, who are these people?
Venkatakrishnan.
Dr. Kamesh Venkatakrishnan exists, but has
Oh, was he? That's not surprising. I feel like most people have like, I mean, okay, there's TED Talks and then there's like TEDx Talks, so there's like a level here. Most people have done like a TEDx talk at some point. Most big names out there. He is hurting TYT. I do think that that's probably going to be like one of the bigger consequences to come out of this is the attention that he's drawn towards TYT, especially if Cam does a video on TYT, which he is planning to do. So I think that's probably something that I would be concerned about if I were him for sure. Or if I were even Jank, is that this guy is definitely drawing a lot of attention towards you at this point. So if you have anything that you're trying to hide, I'd be worried right about now.
never been affiliated with any school called UNIP.
Psychologist Dr. Lingmai Hisu.
Dr. Lingmei Su exists, but a few papers are the only trace of her anywhere, and she's not affiliated with UNIP either.
Dr. Jifeng Liu.
Dr. Jifeng Liu definitely doesn't exist because that family name is spelled Liu. You'd think an investigative firm wouldn't make that mistake.
And Dr. Shiwa Sai.
I found Dr. Sai's whole CV. Do any of those positions look like UNIP to you? Can you not read?
Quantum engineering of nanocrystal and superlattice metamaterial with botanical chlorophyll additives, demonstrating repeatable plasma streamer, field.
My bad. I ain't mean to get personal. They don't have a faculty page, and they don't teach neuroscience. He says they're a listed member with the Internet.
Oh, that's the Vanguard, right? Yeah. Yeah, I watched them a little bit. They've definitely been all over this. They've been up TYT's ass for a while. I definitely respect. I respect that level of like dedicated hater in any form. You know, I appreciate that. I think we need more dedicated haters in this world for these kind of figures for sure. Yeah, he can't even pronounce her name, right?
National Association of Universities, but that university doesn't show up under Nicaragua at all. Again, the research is published in this journal that we've already debunked.
I hope that's enough to qualify me for those who are the naysayers.
It's not.
My brother, I'm sorry I had to have you to sit through all that. I'm doing this one damn time.
You might want to do it again. Just saying. Now that we've gotten through all the things he put in his response video and debunked each and every one, I'm going to drop another fact that y'all didn't know about Rashad. I held this one back from video 1 because I was being nice. Rashad Richey created his own fake college. Yeah, in 2024, he created a college called St. Magnus. Trust me, I was just as shocked as y'all. Check out the name of the university. St. Magnus University of Science and Research. Does that ring a bell? He's gotten so many fake degrees at this point, it's almost like he took a note out of John Kersey's book and decided that he needs to get on the scam at the top level. This bio is in the Hall of...
Like, again, that's like that for me, that's what the first video would have been about, honestly. It would have been about him having his own, like, possibly, like, scam school, because I think that's I do think that focusing on the scamming aspect of this is very important. Um, so I do like I would have put that in the first video, to be honest with you. He would not have escaped that if I were making the video.
Fame of overcompensation. I promise y'all are not ready for this. Kersey has a stack of overlapping doctorates, chancellor and professor positions at the same fake colleges.
Right, like I would have put that in the first video. That would have been like top billing news for me, because especially after going through all of his degrees and stuff and like showing how he is like involved in some of these diploma mills and stuff, and how it is kind of scammy. I would have definitely thrown that in there for sure, but I can understand why he wanted to stay more focused on his fake degrees and stuff too.
Rashad Richey got his degrees from, light bulb, archbishop positions, and he named himself royalty in Europe. Published hella books himself via the European American press, has multiple knighthoods, is a colonel, admiral, and lieutenant colonel in several American states, and got a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Obama in 2014. Surprise, surprise. Here's the site via the Wayback Machine, so the pictures are going to be knocked off, but all the information is still there. It's registered in 2024. Scroll down just a little bit and you see 4 black people, 2 of them who appear to be related, who are all running a diploma mill, or at least trying to. I don't think this one successfully got off the ground, but all 4 of these people are added to the list of academic scammers now. Here's the registered owner, which is himself and 2 other companies he owns at the same address. I don't know why he thought he'd get away with that. And here's where they were offering courses in shit like the biophysics of ethereal.
Yeah, that also could have definitely played a part, because I know he said in his in like the live stream he did that he reached out to Rashad Richey and to TYT and told them about this, and TYT hadn't responded. So and obviously Rashad Richey didn't respond until he did his response and everything, but yeah, so that could also be a part of it for sure, that he was trying to give him a chance to own up to it himself, which is honestly maybe more honorable than Rashad Richey deserves at this point, given everything. Given like how much he seems to be willing to double down and really lock into this, but I do think that could also have played a part for sure.
Healing to foreign students who don't know any better. Y'all starting to see the grifts, right? See, in Florida, these kinds of religious institutions are exempt from regulation. We got the DOE really bold on top because they met the minimum requirements in Florida for religious institutions. Hey, we got Paris Graduate School. I know y'all remember that one. And the Society of the Royal Catholic Truth. Basically, he's justifying the existence of St. Magnus University by saying that they're higher educational partner institutions. Right. So PGS is definitely a diploma mill. We were guessing at it before, but we know for sure now. Scroll down a little bit further. Hey, Universidad del Pacifico, UNIP. Hey, California University FCE, fake accreditor. Lined up next to each other. And then we got the fake certificate. Remember how there was a wrong name in the one for PGS before? This time there's no name at all. It just says the above named institution. I don't know if he actually scammed anyone, but the attempt alone is enough. I've included links to all that in the description below. In conclusion, whether you sue me or not, you're lying. I think it's very evident to anyone who bothers to pay attention that you're one of the most aggressive liars that we've ever come across, because you just stood up in front of us in this response video and lied harder about
No, for sure. Yeah, I do think that he definitely took the right approach. I was just saying that I'm not sure Rashad Richey even deserves it at this point, but um, I do think he definitely took the right approach in giving him a chance to respond and own up to things and stuff like that. Like that's obviously the better way to go about it, and the more professional way to go about it. His response is just Um, yeah, the response has just been like, ooh. But yeah, I don't know. And then yeah, and then uh it's interesting. There's been a lot of like I don't know, it's just I don't know how you kind of do this to your career, but you know.
Imaginary schools and imaginary people at those schools. That takes some balls. I'll give you that. I didn't know what you do in response to my first video, but now I know that you're prepared to die with the lie. And I almost got to salute that. But here's the main point I came here to make, because a lot of y'all responded to my first video with, hey, why you tearing down somebody who's been doing the work? And it's not my first time encountering that, right? I talk about white people, I talk about black people, I talk about scammers of all types through several of my series and deep dives, DC scammers, etc. And I always have to keep bringing up the fact that I don't just talk about black people, but also, as I've said before, my world is black. I'm a black creator talking about black scammers that are hurting the black community. So of course, I'm going to target them. A lot of y'all failed to see the scam as well. Well,
Also, like, it's his channel, it's his like output. He can do whatever he wants with it. I do think that's an interesting angle to this conversation that has come up quite a bit, is this sort of idea of community and how we should maybe be approaching calling people out. And there is definitely like a conversation to be had about that, because even just like historically, you have people like this is like a really kind of specific example, but um when Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, he tried not to speak ill of Elijah Muhammad when he was abroad, when he was out doing things, and he did that because he wanted to kind of put on like a sort of united front. And I'm pretty sure he's going to get fired now. Yeah, it's not looking good. Um and so it's just it is interesting how like historically this is like something that definitely continues to happen, is just this desire to protect members of the community. And this is not unique to like the black community either, but the desire to connect to like protect a member of the community. And like, but even in those instances, usually there's some sort of in-house way of dealing with it. There's some sort of like in-house way of contending with the problem. And a lot of the time it seems like it's like don't talk about it, don't call it out, and it's like and don't even try and contend with the problem within the community, which that doesn't work at all. At that point you're just letting the person get away with it. Yeah, yeah, solidarity. Um but it's like it's definitely like it's a little bit of a slippery slope, a little bit dangerous to like, you know, obviously this is nothing new, but you definitely end up giving passes to people who do more harm than good at times. And Rashad Richey isn't even someone who I think is doing an immense amount of harm. I think that he is someone who definitely needs to own up to his mistakes and probably needs to do a little introspection, but he's not like killed anybody. He's not done like massive amounts of harm on a like large scale. He may have like, you know, it's like he's attempted to scam people, but he doesn't seem to have been super successful in that. So I don't know. It's just kind of like he could definitely come back from this. I think he could still come back from this if he really just gave in and said, you're right, my bad.
when you falsify your degrees, when you stand on this mountain of lies and purposely trick people and deceive people with manipulative language and made up stories and fake professors and fake schools, and create your own fake school, which you intend to profit off of, do I?
Yeah, exactly. Like any sort of like, goodwill or good deed that you've done, unfortunately, is now going to be overshadowed by all of this. And um like that's the conversation of legacy, of what you leave behind. Another good example of that, I'd say, is probably Nicki Minaj, somebody who obviously has a huge legacy when it comes to her music and stuff, but as far as being a person, she it's a little messy. So I do think that when it comes to Nicki, a lot of her legacy is going to be the sort of different spats that she's gotten into, or the different like controversies that she's done. And it takes away a little bit from being able to discuss her music and her merit as a musician. So it's unfortunate. It's like now we can't really get now we have to deal with all the bullshit surrounding your work and what you've done, and it's just like maybe we just wanted to have a conversation on your output, but now we can't because there's just so much shit to deal with.
I need to say more. That's a scam in and of itself. In the black community, we tend to elevate individuals who demonstrate themselves to be quote unquote on our side and to be exceptional via academic accomplishments or athletic accomplishments, professional and entertainment, that type of thing, without vetting them, without checking to see if they're really about what they're talking about. And that brings me to my next point, which is going to be the point of the next video that I unfortunately had to separate from this one because I'm in a rap beef now. He's a fake progressive. He's wearing this costume to get the bag, in my opinion. And I'll spend my entire next video diving into my evidence for that claim. I'm sorry to make y'all wait so long, but
See, I am looking forward to that next video. Yeah, Nicki Minaj. Yeah, that is it's a lot. But I do think the idea of him as a fake progressive definitely again lines up with what we have seen from TYT, and I would not be surprised. And I would not be surprised if some of this plays into TYT a little bit. So I am curious to see what he has in the next video for sure. But yeah, Nikki's been she's been an interesting time.
to give y'all a little bit of a teaser for that, I'll drop a snippet from one of his dissertations that drive home one of his real opinions as we fade this out. Catch y'all in the next one.
What, he's fake progressive now? I believe it. But the issue at hand becomes especially virulent when people who disagree with gay marriage on principle begin to be seen as bigots by advocates for gay marriage. Oh. Okay. Again, it does just kind of remind me of Anna's whole birthing person thing. It's like, yeah, I do think he's still at TYT because he's definitely okay with the grifting, with the sort of angle that they've taken. Oh my god, dude, look at the make a seductively simple analogy and argue that opposition to gay marriage is no different from racism against colored peoples. Just as many people used to believe that colored people could be treated as second-class citizens, either through outright yeah, it does treated as second-class citizens either through outright disenfranchisement or through efforts such as Jim Crow laws to keep them segregated from the rest of the population. The argument could be made that sexual orientation is now a new axis of bigotry. This is part of why liberals and progressives tend to think of themselves as being on the right side of history. The idea would be that just as opposition to equal rights for colored people has been consigned to the dustbin of history, the logic is that the same will eventually and inevitably interesting. Yeah, I don't really understand the point he's trying to make here, but okay. Happened with the opposition to gay marriage. So, hold on. The issue at hand becomes especially virulent when people who disagree with gay marriage on principle begin to be seen as bigots by advocates for gay marriage. In a way, it is possible to make a seductively simple analogy and argue that opposition to gay marriage is no different from racism against colored peoples. Just as many people used to believe that colored people should be treated as second-class citizens, either through outright disenfranchisement or through efforts such as Jim Crow laws to keep them segregated from the rest of the population, the argument could be made that sexual orientation is now a new axis of bigotry. Oh, okay. I think I get it. Anyways, yeah. So, okay, that's a weird yeah, it's weird. It's like I think what he's trying to say is that liberals think that they're on the right, liberals and progressives think that they're on the right side of history when they stand for gay rights because it is it's similar to the civil to racial politics, like racial like politics and sort of civil rights and that kind of thing. I'm not entirely sure if that's what is being said, but that's what I took away from it, which is an interesting argument to make. Colored people? Yeah, I don't I don't know why I do think his use of colored people is a little weird here too, but uh, I was gonna let that one go, but I think what he's trying to say is and then the idea that to tell the right side of history, the idea would be that just as opposition to equal rights for colored people has been consigned to the dustbin of history, yeah. Yeah, I think what he's saying is that it's like similar um and that it's a weird, it's like a weird, it's a little weird. Like I am not, it's also like 1 a.m. so I'm probably not in like the best brain state to be trying to like parse through this. But I think that's what he's trying to say here. Like I think that's what's being said here, but I'm not entirely sure. Seductively simple analogy. And he's arguing um and he's arguing that like there is, I guess, like a significant difference between arguing for one's rights when it comes to race versus your sexuality, which there's a difference, but I wouldn't say it's so significant that like it merits pointing out. I mean, at the end of the day, you're being oppressed for something and you're advocating for your rights. I don't really think it's leaps and bounds different. Like the reasons are different and there's definitely, different aspects to it. I think he's trying to say that that liberals and progressives tend to think of themselves as being on the right side of history because they stand against they stand for gay rights, and I do think he's trying to say that they're wrong for thinking that. I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to say here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what he's trying to say in all of this is that it is like this sort of just as many people used to believe that colored people should be treated as second-class citizens either through outright disenfranchisement or through efforts such as Jim Crow laws to keep them segregated from the rest of the population. Yeah, and just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to say. The idea would be that just as opposition to equal rights for colored people has been consigned to the dustbin of history, the logic is that the same will eventually and inevitably happen for gay rights. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's definitely definitely a bit of a weird take. I don't really understand what I would like to see the surrounding context. Not that I think it would make it like significantly better, but I think it would help me understand what he's trying to say more. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's implying here. What he's trying to say is that they would be that they're on like that they think they're on the right side of history for standing like for gay rights, but they're not. I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to say or what he's trying to imply. But I am gonna end this here because it is like 1:30 now, and I've been streaming for 3 hours, which is longer than I'm used to. But this was a good stream. Got to go through this finally. I'm looking forward to his next video on this for sure. And for the videos on TYT. Definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, I think that will be very interesting to see, and that's also possible. He could have changed his views. I don't know when. It would be good to know like when this was written and when this was from, for sure. But I don't know. I would like to know. I would like to see more of this paper or whatever this is from to know like what I'm dealing with here. But thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I really do. I don't know if I'll have time to stream tomorrow, so I don't know. My next stream might be Sunday. We'll see. But I am gonna because I should work on some videos and stuff, so we'll see. But I am going to dip out of here now. I think my computer is screaming at me. So, all right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Please take care of yourself, everybody, and have a good evening. So, I will catch you all later. And goodbye.